I've got a taxi box type radio. One of those, I'm not quite sure. I haven't had it out for some ages, so I'll have to get it out and have a look at it. See whether it still works. With a battery, I think it did take a battery, that particular one. But it's a portable one. Maybe that's probably why. It should have a battery in it. But there we are. I haven't found it. It's in the garage somewhere, tucked away in the corner. So I'll have to look it out. But anyway, everybody's a good signal. You're also obviously no problem there, Guy. You're 5 and blah, 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 blah. 5 and 9 plus, no problem. G4, G3W and 5 and 9. Just peeking over the 9 there, rain for me. Karen, you're 5 and 9 as well, just peeking over the 9. Laurie, about 3 and 8, 3 and 9. The audio's not loud, but I can hear what you were saying because I've got my headphones on. And G4NOW is just down the road to me, so he was okay. He's a 5 and 9 plus 20, no problem there. And also yourself there, Guy, a good signal. You always give me a good signal, Guy, because you're only just down the road from me as well. So that's how it all works out. But there we are. Right, I think that's about all I've got to add at the moment. Oh yeah, just before I go, for Kieran, you're at 4 watts on your QMX radio. I can hear it, it's nice tone. Not very loud, because obviously you're down there at Grove Park, but nice tune on it, nice audio on it. And my rig at the moment is actually 1.90655, that's what mine's registered at the moment. So now, with that, I'll pass over to database station to the band leader. Guy, over to you guys from CVRS
M0JCF.
M0JCF at the bottom of the list. Tell you what, Mark, taken over and then bung it back to me.
Yeah, okay, M0JCF returning to the Cray Valley net. Totally forgot about it. Saw your email about 5 minutes ago. Quickly run out here. Just giving it a rough tune of the FT-101E and the Kenwood tuner into the 90-foot long wire. Obviously, I've heard Frank, you were 5 and 9 plus 10. And Guy, I didn't look at the needle, but I don't think you were far off that. So we'll give you a proper report and reports all round after everyone's had an over. So back to you, Guy. G0UKN M0JCF.
M0ODJ. M0ODJ. Evening, Mark. Yeah, taken over and then don't know how long you've been listening. Taken over and then pass it back to me, and I'll re-go what the list is. Roger, Guy. Mike, 0ODJ, thank you very much, and good evening everyone. Sorry to be late. We've been booking a holiday. We're going to Seville at Easter, which is fine. My wife and daughter thankfully sorted out all the arrangements, but I have to stand behind them reading out my credit card details. I was unavoidably detained. I'm hearing everyone so far. Dave, 5 and 9, Kieran 5 and 7, Frank 555, and Guy about a 5 and 8. A lot of noise here as usual. And Mark JCF about 5 and 4. But it is, it's mainly the noise my end, I think, really, that's stopping me doing anything. Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed Thursday's meeting. I enjoyed the talk, and I did enjoy the display of old radios. There was one there, was it called the Diplomat or something? I thought I could see that on my sideboard. That was very nice. But I think Dave told me that was the most expensive one there. Here we are. Okay, Guy, back to you. G-Pod UKN from Mike 0ODJ. Yeah, M0ODJ, G0UKN. Okay, so we've got quite a long list now, so I'll re-go through what the list is. And by the way, JCF and ODJ just joining, both 5.9 plus. No problem at all. So it's G3WMR, and then round to G8CHB, then G4FAA, then G4NOW, G0FDP, M0JCF, M0ODJ. Yeah, I think the radio you decided you liked, Mark, was the Dougal, the Echo Dougal. And they do look very, very nice, don't they? With the black and silver, etc. Yeah, the plus point for me on all of that was playing with the two very, very early sets. Dave's Etherphone 4, which is what was playing for 1920s and 30s music, and I've got a little homemade two-valver, and both of those, not something I've got a lot of experience with, so I rustled up a power supply to power them both, and I've had them both listening to proper radio stations over the last couple of weeks, and quite an eye-opener, really is quite an eye-opener listening to 5 Live or even Radio Caroline on one of them, on the two-valve. I haven't got the right coil pack for Radio Caroline on the Etherphone 4. But listening to stuff on medium wave on radios that are 100 years old, it's quite astounding, really. And it also meant that, like, 2 of mine that I brought with me literally hadn't been switched on in years, and I thought, right, well, these have just got to work. So I spent some time on the Pi Twin Triple, the one with the sunburst, some sort of sunburst fretwork on the front, and that's all working nicely now. Found a little fault on that, and put a new mains lead, which wasn't quite so lethal, on the Philco 444 people set, and also I made up a ferrite rod tunable aerial for that, so it can be used indoors without a massive external aerial. So it's meant that I've had some good fun playing with radios. As far as what frequency we're on, Kieran, ask somebody with a digital display. I'm running a KW2000B, so I've got absolutely no clue whatsoever what frequency we're on. I know we're roughly in the area of 1.907, but I don't suppose we're exactly on it because I just sort of guessed. Okay, any other comments? I don't think there was any other comments. Yeah, you missed a good show, Frank, WMR, that's all I would say. It was probably the best meeting we've ever had since I've been at Cray Valley from the point of view of turnout, because we invited sort of externals like the Eltham Society, and people brought some friends and ex-Wales. We had over 70 people, and it was a very, very entertaining night for all who came, I think. Okay, G3WMR in the group, G0UKN.
Right, G0UKN and the Cray Valley Net, G3WMR. Well, first of all, my sincerest apologies for cocking up the order last time round. I won't do that again. It's entirely my fault because I altered the list I've written down because when I tried to call in originally and I pressed the power button instead of the transmit button, but I forgot that Guy had already got me marked down from the pre-net call in, so my list was not very clear, and I was too busy making a wisecrack about using the clarifier for Laurie that I forgot that it should go to you, Kieran, so I'm very, very apologetic for that, but it won't happen this time round. Yeah, I obviously did miss a good evening. I've got a couple of broadcast receivers, neither of which are up and running, but I don't particularly need to get them up and running. They're just to look at, really. The newer one is probably about a 1950s one. I think it's a Cossor, C-O-S-S-O-R, which I don't think is a mark which goes back pre-war. But it's a nice, it's a very nice shaped radio. It's got a nice sort of symmetrical curve to the top, and it's got the dial is horizontal lines for each band and a vertical needle that goes the whole height, and then that occupies the right-hand side of the front, and the speaker occupies the left-hand side of the front, and that downstairs really just as a talking point, and to remind me of the wireless heritage. It's sitting on a table which is probably about the same vintage as well. But up in the loft, I've got something that I got years ago in a Cray Valley junk sale, which I think has got a name like a wave magnet or something. It's obviously a TRF, and it's got a lift-up lid, and most of the parts are lying loose inside the lift-up lid, which is how I acquired it in a Cray Valley junk sale, and that's up in the loft. I shall get that down at some point and make sure it goes to a better home than my loft. And it's got a lift-up lid thing on a hinge along the back, needless to say. I think it's got some knobs on the front, but I guess you probably had to lift the lid to change bands or something. I don't know. It's not near me, so I can't go into much detail. Anyway, welcome to newcomers since last time round. Mark JCF 5 and 9 and M0ODJ Mark as well. I think you're coming through extremely well. So both the newer stations are stronger than the weaker of the previous lot, namely NOW and FDP, who I'm struggling with a bit. I'm not getting anyone on the Hat Green SCR, so I've given that up as a bad job. The Derby one seems to pick up Cray Valley nets a lot better than Hat Green does. Unless I've done something wrong, I don't know. So, around now to Kieran, with my apologies for last time, G8CHB and the net G3WMR.
G3WMR, G8CHB returning. No problems, Frank. All is well. Report first of all. I have that's for Mark JCF 5 and 9, I think, and Mark ODJ 5 and 9 as well. I mean, all I'm saying is for me that's what they sound like. I haven't got a meter here, so it's a guessing. But as I said, luckily I'm able to copy everybody tonight, so I'm very, very pleased with myself. Right, and speaking about old radios and that, I have here that I got at Cray Valley the wartime utility set,
which is in pride of place on the top shelf there, looking down at me. I haven't done anything with it, and I don't really want to touch it because I'm not particularly anxious to get it working or anything like that. I just want to preserve it as it is. It's a terrific memento. And I was really chuffed. The last time I took my grandson to the Science Museum to see exactly the same radio sitting there as part of their display. So that's nice. I have the label on the back saying wartime utility and all of this business. So yeah, very pleased to have that. And as I say, not that I'm going to do any work on it, just have it as almost an icon of times gone by. And Frank, you were talking about lifting the lid on radios, and I can remember at home when I was a kid, the radio we had there then was a TRF, and it was a lift the lid job, and loudspeakers sat on top of it separate. And the band change was a bar underneath. I know all of these things because years later when they were throwing it out, I said no, grabbed it, and I used the capacitors, the variable capacitors and things like that as spare parts for bits and pieces. But shame I didn't leave it as it was. You know, the reason it was being thrown out wasn't because it was broken, but because my eldest brother had gone into employment, got his first paycheck, and what he wanted to do with his first paycheck was buy a decent radio that could pick up Radio Luxembourg in Dublin, and he spent his first paycheck on probably not just one paycheck, but I suspect 2 or 3 paychecks on getting hold of a decent radio, which he installed in our house. On the other one was made redundant. And yeah, that is a story, and I can still remember the details of it. Yeah. Right. So, with that, I now better not get the list wrong. I'm passing over to you, Laurie. Yes, it is. G4 FAA from G8 PHB in the group.
Yeah, Roger, from Golf 4 Foxtrot Alpha Alpha. Yes, okay, Kern. Well, I couldn't really read you at all, but the carrier disappeared. And so it must be my turn. Okay. Yeah, good evening to Mark JCF. I'm sorry, Mark, I've lost your email and your phone number. I reckon you must have changed your phone number. But I'd like to have a chat with you when you get a minute. Mostly because I'm on the ground to Forest and Kit. So there we go. Perhaps you could drop me a line sometime or a phone call. Okay. I think it was Frank WMR that talked about the box radio in the 1920s in his loft. The old 1230, it was a music magnet, they called them. Music magnet. Had 3 valves, a couple of triodes, followed by, wait for it, a string grid. Tempo, that's for the front end. Really advanced stuff, string grids in those days. I think really, at this end, clearly my antennas are just not working. The D5RV is badly stressed around the garden. Thanks to various things, mostly neighbours' vegetation. And in the longer term, as soon as the weather improves, I plan to change it for the variant on the D5RV, the ZS6 Bravo Kilo Whiskey, which has the main advantage that it's not so long, it's only 90 feet for 80 metres, as opposed to the 105, 120 of the standard D5RV. But that's for the next top band net, which I now understand is going to be the last Monday in March. Okay, sim reports. Well, JCF, you're 5 and 7 with me, and Mark ODJ, sorry, I could tell you were there, but that's all. And NOW and FDP, I haven't been able to read at all. Clearly, I need a greatly improved antenna system, but there we go, don't we all? Right, pass it on. I have the feeling that NOW Dave can actually read me, so I'll pass it on to him. G4 NOW to take, Golf 4 Foxtrot Alpha Alpha, over.
Golf 4 Fox Alpha Alpha, G4NOW. Yeah, okay. Funny enough, you were a bit better that time for Laurie. You came out of the noise, and I didn't need to put my headphones on. It's interesting that several people have put headphones on. Anyway, everybody's all 5 and 9 plus. And obviously the ones close by needle bending. I'm quite staggered by Kieran's brilliant signal. Kieran, we should have a comparison. I have a civilian utility set, which is still in the box new. It's one of the battery ones. A lot of people didn't have power during World War II, so we ought to get them together. Now, if you look on the back of your utility set, there'll be a serial number. It will say U1, U2, U3, U4, and that will indicate, if you send me the number, who actually made it. People like Murphy, Burnett, They all had a number echo. They all built the same set, virtually to the same components, slight variations between the two. There was a long wave version which came late in the war, and they kept it going, I think, for a little bit after. So I've never seen a long wave. They're all medium wave. So we'll get our utility set. Make a great talk, the utility radio. I'm thinking about that. Frank, for you said you had something with wave magnet on the top. I don't know if it's a flip-up lid one with lots of wave bands on it, but if it is, I think you might well have a Zenith Transoceanic, if it's sort of black vinyl, but maybe you let us know on the next round. I won't be coming back because I've got to see somebody at 9 o'clock, but I'll just listen around till we get to maybe round 2 to Frank to see what radio he's got there. Over to you, Frank, now. Frank 2, G0 FTP, G4 now.
G4 NOW from G4 FTP. Yep, okay there, Dave, no problem there. Well, the two extra stations that came on, that's Mark. Well, Mark's done have good signals for me. He's not very far away, is he? He's only up the road, really. And M0ODJ, I'm not quite sure where he is, but he's given me the 5 and 9 plus 20. That's the two extra stations that come on this evening. Mind you, I'm only running a G5RV, so get Lorry, fine, standard G5RV, no extra added extras to the end of it, and I've got a tuner here which can't tune it in, but all I can get mainly really is about 10 to 12 watt output power from, because obviously I lose a lot because it's not really the antenna for it really, but therefore that's the only one I've got at the moment, the only one I use, but it's not too bad. It does actually get out, and maybe because G3W&R Frank can't hear me too well. Same as Laurie, I can hear Laurie, but he wasn't quite so loud that time, even with my headphones on, but at least I can hear him, that's the main thing. Everybody on the net this evening I can hear, maybe because I've got headphones on, that's maybe the thing as well, and obviously the fact that I'm pretty good at receiving, but I can't sort of get a great big signal out with the G5RV, unfortunately. But there we are. That's how things have worked out. Anyway, I know Mark can hear me because he's not far away. At M0 JCF, Mark, it's over to you. You're only over the road to me.
Yeah, G0 FD PM0 JCF in the Cray Valley top band net. Okay, I'll give reports out in no particular order. G0 UKN plus 30, Frank G0 FDP plus 10, Kieran G8CHB plus 10, Laurie G4 FAA 5 and 9, Frank G3 WMR plus 30, Dave G4 NOW plus 20, and Mark M0ODJ plus 10. I don't think I've missed anyone out. I had monitored everyone on Derby SDR, top band SDR. I can see everyone's signals. Frank, Kieran and Laurie were by far the weakest traces. Their meter's broken at the moment, so it's sort of stuck on S9, and I don't know if it's because I'm using a Linux Pi 400 and it might just be software, I don't know, but that ain't working anyway. I can see my trace there nice and strong. As I say, everyone else was quite a good strong chase. The Music Magnet 4, somebody mentioned one of those. I sold one of those last summer. I had the complete wooden box with the Gecko phone TRF stages in it. They're all, the cans were all marked Gecko phone. I had all the knobs, I had all the, all the valves. It was all there complete. I think the only thing wrong with it was the output transformer was blown. It had a Bakelite encased output transformer, but that was up to the new owner to source one of those or do what you need to do. But yeah, it was the Music Magnet 4, and it was Osram. My one was labelled Osram. The lid had a beautiful transfer on the inside, and originally when I obtained it, I was just going to use the lid as a plaque on the wall, you know, like a sort of, you know, one of those shack enhancing pieces of wood with a lovely transfer. But I never did get to go that far, and I thought, do you know what, I'll be wrecking what is a complete radio from over 100 years ago, so I moved it on. And the other thing I tried tonight, well, I didn't actually try it tonight, I tried it a few days ago. I've got a Daytong Fox Lima 3, the Daytong multi-mode filter model FL3. It works very well. The only thing I want it for is radios like this Yaesu Fox Tango 101 Echo, which doesn't have, you know, adjustable IF filters and that, unlike my my TS830, for instance. And of course, most modern radios have got IF shift and width if they haven't got DSP, etc. And the only thing I've noticed at the moment, I probably need to add some more ferrites to it. I'll get a little bit of feedback on transmit, so when I'm transmitting and the filter is switched on, I can hear myself on talkback out of my speaker. But other than that, it works very well. I've been using it on 40 meters, and yeah, it works remarkably well. It's a piece of kit I've had for years, and I haven't really used, but I've now got the radio that's worth using it for. So that's the story there. The higher bands, you know, normally me, I'm 10 and 12 meters. They haven't been exactly floating my boat just lately. There's you know, all the usual suspects on, mainly out of South America, some North America, and in the mornings from the east, you've got the Russians, Ukrainians, etc. Worked a little bit of Far East, and I'm still missing about 6 or 7 states in the USA, but that's just on the higher bands. Yeah, I don't then tend to use places like 20 meters and that, which probably I could fill in all the gaps if I was a 20 meter user. And that's about it, really. Not a lot else to say. As I say, I missed the beginning of the net because I totally forgot what the date was, and just by coincidence I was going through my emails. I'm doing some bathroom refitting at the moment, and I needed an email. And I noticed this one from Guy saying, you know, he's going to call in, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, oh, blimey. So with that, dropped everything and dashed out here. And that's the story. So as I say, I better record. I'm recording this as I always do for the YouTube channel. And I'm just videoing myself there on Derby SDR. So it's round to Mark now, M0ODJ to take from M0JCF in the Cray Valley top band net.
Mike 0JCF from M0ODJ. Thank you very much, Mark. I'm getting you about a 5 and 4. Interesting, you can hear me at plus 10, I think you said. So that's all, that's good. And I can hear you. The only one I'm struggling with really is Laurie. That's probably about a 3 and 5. So I'm getting about half, managing to copy about half of what I hear there. As Guy said, listening on the old radio to a medium wave transmission, and the radio is 100 years old, you know, like the technology essentially hasn't changed up until now. But within the next few years, there will be no AM broadcast. I shouldn't think. I might be wrong. There's a lot of Chinese people on shortwave, I noticed. But yeah, well, there we are. Okay, I won't hold it any longer. I think it's round to Guy now, G0UKN, M0ODJ.
Yeah, M0ODJ, G0UKN in the group. Well, really nice big net finally in the end. I don't know if people want to try some AM or not. I don't mind either way. It'd be nice just maybe to keep it going, but we'll see. I know Dave NOW said he needed to drop out, so I will, before it actually gets to, I don't think it's quite 9 o'clock yet. I know he said he has to disappear at 9, so 73s to you, Dave NOW, and really enjoyed the fun we had doing the doing that radio setup for the show. So no, all good fun. Copied everybody fine. Laurie was by far the weakest, and we're going to have to work this one out, Laurie, and play aerials. G5RV, and I don't know, I couldn't catch whether you actually run it with the feeders combined and then with an earth system. So it would be better as a Marconi T and run out a nice earth mat in your garden and see if we can really improve matters. As far as the KW160 ATU, yeah, I've got one of those. It's an L-match ATU, so it would be absolutely useless, I think, for matching a G5RV on top band in its standard form.
It would probably be all right matching against Earth if you did run it as a Mark only T, but only with a really, really good Earth. So you need to get those wires in the garden. You need to creep outside with the edging tool while Mrs. Atkinson doesn't notice, and just get as much wire in the ground as you possibly can. But there you go. Right, I know it's getting to the point where a lot of people are going to disappear on us, so I'm going to pass it quickly round to G3WMR, and then we'll go around quickly, and then if anybody wants a burst of AM, we can do that. So round to you, Frank, because I know this is the sort of time you disappear as well. G3WMR in the group, G0UKN.
Roger from G3WMR. Yeah, Mark mentioned, JCF mentioned the Derby SBR, which is back on since it wasn't on when I first came into this shack tonight. It's not up, it's in the dining room. So that's back up now, which is good. Yeah, it's a music magnet or something, the thing I've got in my loft. I googled it just now and sure enough saw something that looked very like it. I was staggered at the price that's being asked on eBay, but mine is not in pristine condition, so I'm not expecting miracles on that. So I'll go up in the loft in due course and have a look at it sometime in the spring. So very good night to everyone. I'm going to drop out now because it's my return phone calls time after 9 o'clock on a Monday night. So I'm going to go and do that. But I will have an ear to the ongoing QSO. So very good night to everyone. Great to hear everyone so well. G8CHB to take it, G3WMR.
G3WMR, G8CHB in the group. Yes, I've copied all of that, Frank, and indeed everybody's still coming in and loud and clear, and I'm still copying Laurie. Probably you're the weakest, Laurie, but nevertheless I'm getting good copy from you. So that's all good news as far as I'm concerned. Right, and I did have a quick look during the last few hours at the back of that utility set, and it's a U4, and I'll pass that information on to Dave NOW. I think he's dropped out of the net at this stage, but I'll send him an email and I'll let him know it's a U4 stroke, I think it's a 1X0275, but yeah, but it's nice to have and nice to see sitting up there. I've also got a bush that looks very, very pretty from 1956, and that works. That's okay. Well, it was working a couple of years back. I obviously haven't plugged it in for ages and ages. But that's a pretty box. That looks rather nice. Yeah, and they're my only sort of excursions at this stage. Both of them are AC sets, not AC/DC. So the big worry there is the old mains transformer, isn't it? See, as long as that keeps running. Everything will keep running. I mean, I don't know whether it's running or not in the utility set. As I say, I've never tried that. So that's my story. I won't be able to join in the AM because this particular rig, although it does do many things, it even has a digi mode, but it does not do AM. So it just goes to show, isn't it, that the QRP Labs QMX Plus, which is, they say, does everything parsing an area, does not do any AM. So I won't be able to join you on the AM tonight, but it was great. I'm very, very pleased. Lovely to speak to everybody. Lovely to listen to the stories, particularly about the old radios and that. That was great fun. And so chuffed that people were able to hear me with my 4 watts. Well, I'm not even sure if it's 4. It's not peaking. It's peaking. I'm really speaking at about 2, but still, it's all happening, and that was terrific. And the reception's good on it as well. So very, very pleased. I'm happy to say good night. Happy to say 73s to everybody, and thanks, Guy, for running the net. And of course, I'll be listening for as long as I can. So now I'm going to pass it on to Laurie, and I know Laurie probably can't copy me, but anyhow, he'll know when I've stopped. So G4FAA from a GA to CHB in the group.
Over to you, Laurie.
Golf 4 Foxtrot Alpha Alpha. Yeah, carrier's disappeared, or modulation's disappeared, Karen, so I guess you've handed over to me. Hopefully. Okay, folks, well, I'll give AM a go, but the noise levels and the general propagation is so poor tonight that I don't hold much hope of getting anywhere. But sadly, in the old days, on 6 watts of AM, we used to work all around the area, but them days have gone. To you, Mark, JCF, yeah, when you get a minute, give us a quick ring. I need your phone number and email address. It's all disappeared. I think you must have changed your phone number. And I'm on the scrounge, of course. I only contact you when I want something, but there we go. That's what happened to the radio friends before. Right, I'll pass it on quickly. I think NOW is gone, I've gathered, so it's got to be JCF. JCF to take, if you're still with us.
I think
Foxtrot Alpha Alpha and the group, over.
round to FTP.
Round to you, Frank.
I can just about hear you, Laurie, G4FAA, and over to me, yeah, okay, fair enough. So G4NOW's gone now, hasn't he? Yes, fair enough, so no problem there, okay. Right, I was listening to the AM for a while there, Guy, and mind you, I've got about 5 and 8 of noise here, and it's making my ears a bit sore. But I'm still listening to you. The AM on my rig, it seems to come through a lot clearer, and the audio is a lot much better than it is on SSB. But there we are. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, Mark, M0...
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've just knocked the dial. Can someone confirm I am or am not on frequency?
Clear enough.
Yeah, you know what it's like, these analog dials, the outer ring slips as well. Yeah, Laurie, yeah, sorry, I meant to answer that last time round, but, you know, with me runaway mouth syndrome, I didn't get to do it. Yeah, of course, no problem, mate. I haven't changed my number. I've had that number 3.5 years now, but what I'll do is I'll send you a WhatsApp and a text, and yeah, if you're on the scrounge, absolutely no problem. If I've got it, you can have it, I'm sure. Yeah, I'll be doing AM. It's probably the only outing really, apart from a little bit of 10 meters. AM on this particular radio. Normally, well, I say normally, this will only be the second outing on AM. I seem to be a little bit down on power. Hang on. Yeah, I'm only running about 20 watts. I think it's because I rushed all the tuning, not on the radio. I tuned it into a dummy load, but I think my antenna tuning, I've probably got a little bit of an ISWR, but that's no problem. So, yeah, I'll hand it round to Mark, and then I'll stop the video, restart the video, and do a bit of AM, whoever's doing AM. Oh, by the way, yeah, if Frank is listening, yeah, my particular one was the Osram Music Magnet 4. It was complete except for the blown output transformer, and I think I got about £100 for it, Frank. I might have got a little bit more, but it was in relatively good condition. The chassis was very good. The case, I would say, was very acceptable. The decals, etc., and even the escutcheon on the front. Somebody had repainted the front, because the front, if I remember rightly, was brass, and it had been painted with the escutcheon and everything was there, for the frequency display, and it was, it was all complete. I even had the knobs and everything was all there. So yeah, it gives you an idea of sort of money you may or may not get. Valves were sold as untested, and that's all I'm going to say on that. So I'm rounding it round to Mark now on M0ODJ, M0JCF in the group.
M0JCF, M0ODJ. Thanks very much, Mark. I will make this my final. I can't stop the AM. I'm being summoned. So it's been a great pleasure as always to contact everybody. I'm looking forward. I know Dave Cheatham now left us, but yeah, looking forward to the talk on utility sets. I'd be happy to watch that. As far as frequencies go, we're at 106.4 to 1907. So we're all within those two frequencies. Yeah, so, okay, I'll just say 73s and good night to all. Over to Guy, G0UKN, M0ODJ.
M0ODJ, G0UKN, alternate now, Guy. That's the AM receiver.